You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up unless you live in Bikini Bottom under a rock. You've heard that President Joe Biden has just pardoned his son. Now, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and the details, but I just want to say, I know there's 1,000,001 people that have an opinion on this. Again, we're going to get to the facts. We're not going to play the opinion game here, all right? We're going to get to the facts of what he did to the best of my knowledge as much as I can, all right? So I'm going to be reacting to this video. Basically, they're going over what happened, and I'm going to break it down better than they are, but this will help you and give you a lot more context on what the HE double hockey sticks is happening with Joe Biden and his son getting pardoned. Okay, without further ado, we getting right into it. Let's rock!
Okay.
All right, with us now, CNN political commentator Karen Finney and CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings. So, Karen, you just heard Democrat Greg Stanton, Democratic governor of Colorado Jared Polis. There are Democrats saying they're not happy that President Biden made this decision.
Yeah, well, tough. The president went ahead and did what he thought was right for him and to protect his son. And I think there are going to be Democrats who, from a political perspective, are going to feel like they may have to say something, but who probably on the inside understand why President Biden went ahead and did this. And I got to tell you, the crowing from Republicans, and I know my dear friend Scott will have plenty to say about this, but we're talking about, Donald Trump is a convicted felon who literally had a pardon law and just made him ambassador to France. So if we're going to talk about, who's using what system in what fashion, let's put it all on the table and let's be honest about the fact that Donald Trump doesn't really have a leg to stand on in this one.
So, Scott Jennings, what about that? Steve Bannon, Charles Kushner, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, and Charles Kushner not just pardoned, but also apparently about to be nominated ambassador to France.
Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it, and that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites and nobody else. He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over the facts of what he did. What exactly did he do? I hear taxes, but let's get into it, okay? So this is on, I believe, justicedepartment.gov, and we may leave the link to it below so you could also verify this information, but I'm just reading. I just have it right here on my phone, and I'm just going to read it aloud for you, okay? So Robert Hunter Biden pleaded guilty in federal court in Los Angeles on all 9 counts in his indictment, including 3 felony tax offenses and 6 misdemeanor tax offenses. There was no plea agreement. And then basically it goes over exactly what it was. So looks like one of them was a subverted his payroll tax withholding process of his own company by withdrawing millions outside of the payroll and tax withholding process. Another one is he spent millions of dollars on extravagant lifestyles other than paying his tax bills. In 2018, he stopped paying his outstanding and overdue taxes. He willfully failed to pay his 2016, 2017, and 2018 and 19 taxes on time, despite having access to the funds. It just goes on and on. All right. So that is a part of what he did. Now, I'm sure there was other stuff because it looks like Biden pardoned him for either 10 or 11 years back. Okay. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm going to have an honest conversation with you guys here. I'm going to tell you why I'm a little bit bothered. Okay. Nobody's talking about this. Everybody is comparing it to Trump, and they're talking about, elite stuff, right? Which in terms of, do elites get pardoned? Absolutely. And do they get pardoned more? Let's just be real. probably, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Marcellus Williams, okay? Now, do your Googles on who Marcellus Williams is. Nobody's talking about this, but I'm going to bring it to the forefront. It went viral on social media, not even a month, I think a month ago, or even less, right? This is recent. He was put to sleep, okay? He was on death row and he was put to sleep. Let's go over his case. Now, to be somewhat fair, I don't think that Biden could have pardoned him because I think he has power on, and I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, you let me know in the comments. That's fine. But I don't think he has the power to pardon on that state level when somebody's on death row like that. I could be wrong. If I am, please let me know and fact check me. Feel free to do so. Okay. But let's go over this guy and what he did. So Marcellus Williams was convicted of murdering Felicia Gale, a former newspaper reporter and social worker, in 1998. He was charged with breaking into her home. And okay, so evidence was okay. So there is some evidence that they had here. So, apparently the laptop was in his car, which could have been planted, right? They said there was blood on his jacket. Somebody saw blood on his jacket. There's no DNA evidence, none at all. Okay. And we're talking about 1998. We're not talking about 1978 or 68. We're talking about 1998. Okay. So still a while ago, but they had the means to check that stuff out. Right. So anyway, Williams maintained his innocence and argued that racial bias contributed to it. Now, I want to know, did Biden even reach out? I think it was Missouri. Did he even reach out to Missouri, the officials in Missouri handling that case, and see what he could do there, right? Or if he could help in any way? Because this case was like super viral. It was all over everywhere. And, he didn't have the most time, but did he even reach out? That's what I want to know. I want to know if he reached out. That's what I want to know. Because if he didn't reach out and he's just pardoning his son, come on now. Forget the Trump stuff. We're talking about, again, it goes back to what I always say. This is why they voted for Trump. And this is why a lot of people voted right, because it's not about the little guy. The little guy is not getting heard, right? Your plumbers, your sanitation workers, your electricians, your nurses, all these everyday people, they're not getting heard. But then this happens. Back to the video. The video, if I'm speaking facts.
Do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth. Never again. I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar, and there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
Let me give some context to what Scott is saying just there, Karen, before you address it, because this pardon, I do not believe we have mentioned it, not just granting clemency for the crimes for which Hunter Biden was convicted of illegally purchasing a gun, of tax evasion, but also a blanket pardon for any federal crimes that may have been committed basically between 2014 and 2024. So what about that literal get out of jail free card for a 10-year period, Karen?
Well, look, literally, the president recognizes that Republicans have been for years now trying to attack the president himself, go after his family. And when you have someone who literally ran their campaign on retribution, on the idea of I will be your retribution and getting back at his enemies, I would imagine, obviously I haven't spoken to the president about this, but I would imagine the president took a look at this and said, I want to make sure this is ironclad, that there is nothing that can be done to circumvent what I'm going to do to protect my son and to try to take the target off of his back once and for all. So that's my reading of it. But again, I think that the hypocrisy here, it is astounding. I mean, Donald Trump has said and done things, said things and done other things. And again, he's a convicted felon himself. He has used his power to benefit his friends, his wealthy allies. In this instance, we're talking about a man who decided to take care of his son after years of unrelenting attacks. I don't blame him.
Scott, did you have the same concerns over a judge?
Okay, stop. This is my issue. They talked about Trump pardoning his friends, but again, fact checkers, correct me if I'm wrong. Trump also did do some pardoning work as well, not just with his friends. It was not just with his friends. It was not just with his friends. And I'm not just talking about Kodak Black, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, fact checkers can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure that it was not just with his friends. You see how they twist the narrative? Whoever controls the media controls this, can control a narrative. You see how powerful that is? Back to the video.
Hang on. A justice system for the elite, as you put it before, when it was Donald Trump pardoning Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Michael Finn, Charlie Kushner. Same concern then?
Listen, you guys can spend all day long trying to spin this, that this is Donald Trump's fault, that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year and say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system. Juries, we have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars. Inflation, it's transitory. Afghanistan, it's a success. The border is secure. Robert Hur is a liar. The videos are cheap fakes. Biden has a cold. He'll never drop out. Oh, I'll never pardon Hunter. It's all a lie. It is all a grift. Every American, except the most partisan, brain-rotted people, are going to be outraged by this today. He is going to leave off. You think 38, 39% job approval is bad? Just you.
It's the same thing when he called the American people garbage and then said, oh, no, I wasn't calling them garbage. I was saying what they said was garbage. No. You bluntly said and called them garbage. It's the same thing. So I'm not shocked. He lied then. He's lying now, and it's the same thing. And I'm not saying that nobody in politics lies, but come on, like, at least do a better job of hiding your stuff. Come on. Like, seriously, back to the video.
Wait, just you wait. He's disgraced today. Outrageous.
You don't need to, but Scott, you don't need to hurl names and say people like me are brain rotted. Come on, that's a little beyond the pale, even for you, Scott.
Listen,
I disagree.
We can disagree about you don't have to defend this. He's leaving office. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to die on this hill. You can say this is wrong because everybody knows that it is. It's wrong. Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact and decided this was the right thing for him.
He was lying. He was lying. He did lie. He always knew he was going to do that. If you don't think that, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think that, I don't know what to tell you. That's why this dude is frustrated.
For him and for his family. Period. Full stop. Donald Trump decided that it was okay to pardon
Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre. How many minutes of tape do we have of both of these people telling the American people this will not happen? It's I mean, we could play it all morning. It's a lie, and it's a lie to benefit his own family, and that's all that it is. And everybody who went on TV and said, oh, look how he's the modern George Washington. He's drained every ounce of credibility from every surrogate. If Karine Jean-Pierre had an ounce of self-respect, she'd get off the plane in Africa today, where they're going, so he can avoid the press and resign. He's drained all of her credibility, and everybody else who's defended this, it's draining for them forever.
Well, and Karen, to be fair, Joe Biden, we did play that sound earlier, did flat out say on multiple occasions, and the press secretary did, that he would not pardon Hunter Biden.
He sure did. And I will tell you that he probably heard from a lot of people who said, you know what, sir, go ahead and do it. You should go ahead and protect your son, because who knows what Trump and Trump's Department of Justice will do when they say that their number one goal is retribution. How could you not take the opportunity to say, you know what, this is one thing that I can do for my child. This is one thing I can do to help get the target off of his back. I also, by the way, this is politics. And again, if we're going to, go down and compare list to list, it's not going to look very good for Donald Trump either. And I just don't have a problem with Joe Biden doing this at all.
All right.
Good for
Karen
him.
Finney. Karen Finney.
All right. So ultimately, we read exactly what his son did. Now, personally, my problem lies with situations like a Marcellus, right? Hopefully I'm saying that brother's name right, where there's no DNA evidence. Did you even reach out? Like, did you do anything? Did you reach out to the officials in that state or region to see if you could try? You're the president of the United States. You don't think they're going to lend an ear to you, bro? We have to use social media to spread the word and put it on our stories like that's going to do something. Well, it did do something. It got the word out. So I'm not going to say it didn't do something, but still, come on, because I wouldn't have known about it, right? But, it's just crazy to me. So yes, I hear the Trump stuff, and yes, I hear all that, but this is the stuff that I'm talking about. The stuff that nobody is talking about. The stuff that goes for one month or 1 week or one day is talked about, the most talked about thing, and then it's all of a sudden swept under the rug like nothing happened. But then you have time to pardon your son. And again, I understand that he may not have, because there may be certain rules when it comes to who he can pardon and things of that nature. But again, that's what I want to know. Did you even attempt? And I think I know the answer to that question, and I believe it's no, but I could be wrong. Maybe he did, and I just don't know. So that's where I stand with this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I get active in those comments. Make sure you slap the like button and headbutt the subscribe button for more. Till next time, peace.